All right, Turtle in Paradise, Chapter 13, Believing in Monsters. In my opinion, the fellows who make Hollywood pictures are really just salesmen. Instead of peddling girdles, they sell thrills and chills, and folks eat them up. Not me, though. I'm no sucker. I know there's no such thing as a giant ape climbing skyscrapers or mummies walking out of tombs. But just try telling that to the boys. Who do you think would win in a fight, Dracula or Frankenstein? Ira asked, popping a piece of alligator pear into his mouth. We're on the porch having a cut-up. Dracula. He'd suck Frankenstein's blood out, Kermit says. Frankenstein's already dead. He ain't got no blood, Bean says. Yeah, but he's got brains, Porkchop says. Too bad you don't, I say. Aunt Minnie opens the door and hands me a covered dish. Here's her lunch, she says. When I walk up to Nana Philly's front porch, Smokey is waiting for me on the steps. Glad to see me? I ask my cat. Aunt Bee was only too happy to take in Smokey when I told her the situation. I miss having Smokey with me, but I think Termite misses her even more. I can tell by the way he circles the house looking for her. The wag's gone out of his tail. Miss Philomena has taken a real shine to that cat of yours, Miss B says, opening the door. They've got a lot in common, I say. They both hate kids. Nana Philly and I have our lunch, grits and grunts and gravy, and fresh sugar apples for dessert. She hasn't knocked any food on the floor since that last time, unless you count when she gives it to Smokey. Miss B's right. Nana Philly's crazy about my cat. She feeds Smokey the best bits from her plate. Anne lets her sleep on the pillow curled up around her head. I'm not sure, but I think my grandmother might like me a little bit too, even though I am a kid. She really listens to me when I talk, which is more than I can say for most grown-ups. I tell Nana Philly about the families we've worked for, like crazy Miss Stark, who would only let Mama buy Waldorf toilet tissue because she was convinced other toilet tissues had arsenic in them. And Mr. Barry, who kept pretending to go to work every day for 2 months, even though he lost his job. Sometimes I catch Nana Philly looking at me, and she seems sad, and I wonder if she's thinking about my mother. I know I am. We finish our lunch, and then I help Nana Philly into her bed where she takes a nap. I'm in the kitchen washing up when I hear a loud crash, and I run into the parlor thinking it's Nana Philly, but it's not my grandmother who's making the racket. It's my cat. Smokey has fallen through the top of the crumbling, termite-eaten piano, and she can't get out. I hear her meowing pitifully inside, her paws scrambling. Hang on, I tell her. I push the bench over and climb up and pull her out. She leaps out of my arms and runs off. That'll teach you to not jump on furniture. There's a hole in the top of the piano, and I look inside curious. It's a mess, all bits of decaying wood and termite wings, but something catches my eye. A cigar box. It must have been in the piano for a long time, because there's a thick layer of dust on it. I open it. Right on top is a pile of shells, and beneath it is a folded up piece of paper, and beneath that is a gold coin. I hold the coin in my hand, turning it over, and then I unfold the paper. It's some kind of map. I read the words at the top. This being where Black Caesar put his treasure. I stare at it for a long time, but I don't believe for a moment that it's real. That would be like believing in blood-sucking vampires and mad scientists bringing dead men to life. I close the cigar box, put it back inside the piano, and pretend that I never saw it at all. But it's funny. Even though I try to forget the coin and the map, I can't stop myself. I go back and look at them every chance I get. I keep thinking that maybe they're real. It's like monsters, There's no such thing, but you can't help but wonder if they're out there somewhere in the dark night, just waiting to get you. Finally, I can't take it anymore. I go looking for Slowpoke. He'll know if the map is real or not, and I trust him. But when I get to the dock, his boat is gone. Sorry, Turtle, he left this morning, Ollie says. How come you didn't go with him? Ollie looks sheepish. He's doing an errand for Johnny Cakes. Didn't need any extra help. Do you know when he'll be back? I ask, and he shakes his head. When I return to Curry Lane, the diaper gang's playing marbles. Fellas, Ira says, we're not working Labor Day. Even the diaper gang deserves a day off. You said it, pal, Porkchop says. Besides, I hear there's a circus coming to town. Do you think there'll be elephants? Buddy asks. If we're lucky, there'll be a tiger, and it will eat you, Bean says. And you better put some pants on before Ma comes home and beat your bungie good. Too late, Kermit says. Aunt Minnie's walking down the lane, and she looks mad. Your father won't be coming home this weekend after all, she says. He picked up some extra work helping out a fella on his house up there. Nobody says anything, and she sighs. At least he's getting paid, she says, and then looks at Buddy. Buddy, where are your pants? I can't find 'em, he whines. Honestly, she says, and grabs him up and carries him into the house, his wiry body wiggling the whole way. Beans turns to the boys, rolling a marble between his fingers. Come on, fellas. Let's go challenge those White Street boys to a game. As they start to walk away, I squeeze the coin in my pocket. I picture Mama on her hands and knees, scrubbing Miss Betnock's floor, and I make a decision. Wait a minute, I say. Porkchop says, no girls allowed. I think this is a lot more interesting than a marble game, I say, holding out the gold coin. Where'd you get that? Beans asked. Nana Philly's house. It was in the piano. The piano? What was it doing there? Kermit asked. I don't know, but this was with it, I say, and I pull the map out from my pocket of my dress and hand it to Ira. He looks at it, his eyes widening in disbelief. It's a map to Black Caesar's treasure. Hearing Ira say it out loud makes it seem real, and for a moment I can almost see the treasure glinting under the sun. Shiny gold and silver coins and jewels as big as coconuts. I have to dig my nails into the palm of my hand to stop from trying to reach out and grab it. Don't be a sap, it's fake, Porkchop says, but there's something in his voice as if he's trying to talk himself out of it. Kermit is holding the gold coin. Looks pretty real to me. Nana Philly's dad was a wrecker. Who knows what he took off his ships? Give it here, Bean says, snatching the map from Ira. He studies it. This is the Sponger's Key, with a cistern and the shack. How do you know? I ask. He looks down his nose at me. Because I've been sailing since I was in diapers. Fellas, Ira says, his voice humming with excitement. What if it is real? Just like with old ropes. This could be big. Bigger than King Kong. The boys turn to Beans, waiting for his judgment, and I find myself holding my breath along with them. Is this how all those men on Wall Street lost their fortunes? Did they follow a dream so big that they couldn't see that they were chasing fool's gold? Beans gives a reluctant nod and says, all right. When do we go? Ira asks, and then they're all talking at the same time about shovels and boats, and I can't help but think that this is exactly like something in a Hollywood screenwriter would tap out on his typewriter, and I just bet some dumb director would cast Shirley Temple to play me.